I hate it or I can't tell if I really enjoyed it.
Total bullshit. Zero fun having jank baloney.
Huh, interesting.
Borderline hamburger music.
Listen here, you bastard. Speaking of not cozy, let's talk about this game.
Hold up. That's good design. If you don't like it, you're wrong.
And this game offended me in its design at times.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
The entire last stage fucking sucks.
I wrote in my notes, hell fucking yes. Game's so good. Tier 2 vibe.
This is stupid. Fuck this game. And then I'm like, wait a minute.
Hey, world blew up. Revenge. Attack aggressively. You're like, all right, I'm sold.
I hate it. I think we should all have the same opinion.
An extremely joyless piece of shit. I hate this game.
If the game doesn't respect you, why should you respect the game?
It felt good. Like, this whole game feels good.
No, dude.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Feels like it's been a hot minute, but here we are back for another episode of Seriously Casual Video Game Book Club, episode 20? Holy moly. Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime. I got it right. How are you guys doing?
Awesome.
Excellent.
Salutations, fellow slimes.
Excellente.
It makes me laugh, especially struggling with the name, that we actually had the name wrong, and that Chris and I said it sounded like a fake video game, because technically, when we picked it on the wheel, that was a fake video game. But now that we've figured out the name and played the actual game, it's definitely, yep, it's a video game. Can confirm.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the many that are out there.
Yeah, it's very true.
So
Super, this was one of your picks for the random selection. So you wanna run us through how it got there, how it do be?
So I had this game back when it first came out. I don't know why I bought it. I don't remember how I acquired it. All I know is I had it on the DS, and I ended up playing it. And I remember thinking to myself, like, "Holy crap!" Like, it hit me out of nowhere. Like, this is so different and unique, and I've never seen anything like it. And it kind of blew me away, and I was like hooked to it when I first played it. And I remember like talking about it a lot back in the day on various online forums, trying to spread the good word of Rocket Slime, just because it was so different and like I'd never seen anything like it. And I honestly haven't seen anything like it since. And I thought it'd be a cool pick for us to play and discuss, because you know it's fun to pick weird, different games for our purposes here.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I'm very happy you picked this game.
Yeah, and I know some of you out there are Dragon Quest fans, so that's cool. And it's funny, this is the only Dragon Quest game I've ever played.
Same.
So that can be that probably drive a lot of people crazy hearing that, but yeah, I understand this Slime Fella is like the mascot of the series, and he's like super popular in Japan, and I enjoyed it overall, and I hope you guys did too. So let's dive in and see.
Oh, right
Hey,
before...
Super.
Oh, go ahead,
Did
Tom.
you beat the game originally when you played it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was just curious.
Yeah, so we were talking about this is a spin-off of the literally legendary Dragon Quest series. So, you know, it makes it the publisher is Square Enix. Developer is Tosei. Colin, does that track with the other Dragon Quest games? Like, are they...
No, so Bird Studio, I don't know their relation to Square, like if they're just like a subsidiary of Square, but I don't think I've heard of them before. They may have done like the DS versions of 4, 5, and 6, which came out, but I think that was also Bird Studio, so I'm really not sure.
Yeah, but published by Squeenix. We know them, we love them. Developer Tosei. So this game came out on the Nintendo DS over here stateside September 19th. 2006, so we almost played it for its 20th anniversary. It's definitely it felt interesting to go back to a DS game. I'm trying to think of the last time I played a DS game, so apart from just this game, it was really interesting to play a DS game again.
Didn't you
after
just
so
play
long.
the...
Yeah, but that doesn't count. That game. Yeah.
It doesn't
It's a real
exist.
game.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
But Drawn to Life,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
it's not real. It's not
Yeah.
real.
To answer your question, sorry, real quick, Danny. To answer your question,
It feels more
Toze,
like a DS game.
they made other Dragon Quest spin-offs for the handhelds, basically.
Gotcha. So there was
So like Dragon
the
Quest
handheld
Monsters and
gamers.
stuff like
I played
yeah.
that one too.
So
Yeah.
this game is the second game in a series. The
Mm.
first one is on Game Boy Advance, only released in Japan, and it consists entirely of the overhead sections.
Yeah, there's no mech fighting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it was a better game. So that game is called Slime Mori Mori Dragon Quest Shogeki no Shippuden, 2003. So this game came out 3 years after. So that's very interesting. It was a GBA
Did
game
it get
too.
an English release?
Yes. And there's a sequel on 3DS also that only released in Japan.
I need to
and
play
instead
that.
of tanks, it's pirate ships.
Oh, cool.
That is pretty cool.
I have not played it. There
Like
is an
that-
English translation.
It's like that new Yakuza game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just like it. All right. Well, let's see. Who wants to kick us off with just the initial rocket
Well,
launch
Super
take?
Did you go super?
Well, I'm just giving a little spiel because I picked this, but
Okay.
I think Danny kind of showed his hand a little bit there, so I think maybe you should go first.
All
Yeah.
right, I will volunteer then. So, like I kind of alluded to, like handheld games just aren't my joint, but there are. I'm not gonna say all handheld games are bad, but this game did not reach that peak of handheld gaming, because as I was playing it, I was just like, man, these controls are simple. Like, this gameplay is really simple. Playing it's not the most fun thing. And I was like, you know what? Stop being a hater. Like, stop thinking about it being on a handheld. Like, just play the game. Like, keep at it. So that turned to me more appreciating the goofiness of it. Because as you can see in the gameplay right now, this game is hella goofy. But if Drawn to Life was a kid's game, this is a dad's game. Like, it's just nonstop puns. Like, it's from a storied series, but it's a spin-off. The gameplay is kind of like, not really challenging or really anything to write home about, but maybe if you wanted a chill game to play, it's kind of like that. And I just it never really clicked with me, like, and reasons we'll go over more when we talk about the actual gameplay and stuff. But it was just, I really did not enjoy any of my time with this game. But I appreciated it for what it was, but not a video game.
Fair enough.
I'm literally shaking.
I'm exploding right now.
So you want to throw a counterpunch, Colin, and go
That's
next?
right.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I'm about to catch
absolutely.
those hands.
No, man, I fucking loved this game. I had such a good time playing this game, and so I have beaten every single mainline Dragon Quest game. I've never played any spin-offs. This is the first spin-off I've played, but I've beaten all the mainline, and I'm not counting 10 because it's an MMO and it's Japanese only unless you do weird pirate shit. So I'm not doing that. But you know what I mean. So I like it's really hard to describe or like really convey the depth of like fan service that this game is to the series. And I don't mean fan service like, obviously it's not boobies, right? But people have this association with the term of like, I know you can put two slimes in a t-shirt and then you know what I mean.
I got two
That's-
times in a t-shirt.
That's boobies, but it's like feel good fan service in my opinion, because there's so many little nods to different games, different characters, different like story scenes. Like the alchemy pot, for example, is in this like cart, right, with the horse, and that's like legit straight up from Dragon Quest VIII. You got Mount Krakatoa or whatever it's called. That's another reference to Dragon Quest VIII, and there's references to many of them. And so I'll shut up in a second because I could just talk about this game for a long time.
I want to hear more references later, by the way.
I didn't write them down, and I beat it like 2 weeks ago, so many of them have left. But you know what I mean. The other thing too, and Danny really hit this on the head, is that Dragon Quest, the way it is the way it is localized outside of Japan, it's consistently like an immaculate translation. It's very goofy. It's very witty. It's very I'm drawing a blank. What's that trigger word we were doing?
Whimsical.
Whimsical. Yes. Dragon Quest is like super whimsical. It is very my energy. I just dude, it was so much fun playing this game because it's so stupid and so silly, and it's like I think I understand why you wouldn't like it, Danny, if you are more like an Alien Soldier, Contra 3. You want to play a hard-ass video game. This is not it. I want to play a dad's game. I want to play a game where it's making stupid jokes. And I'm not like as punny as I used to be. I find them kind of annoying when they're like rapid fire. But Dragon Quest always, for me, really finds that balance of like it's dumb, but not rapid fire dumb, where you have a chance to be like, all right, that was dumb. And then, 15 minutes later, it makes another dumb joke and you're like not overwhelmed by it. There were parts of the game mechanically, like the mech fights, that were fun, but also kind of annoying because of the way the AI worked, and we can get into the mechanics of that. But largely, I really, really, really enjoyed this game. And I'll shut up.
All right, I like to hear that. Cool. I'll go and go next. So I will say this right off the bat: I definitely enjoyed this game more the first time I played it. So when we drew this game, when we got this game from the wheel, I was like, oh, sick. Like, let's see how it holds up. And a couple hours into the game, I was like, uh-oh. Because it was like, it wasn't feeling like it was back then. And I was getting worried, but I kept playing, and I had fun. I definitely had fun. I played it in long sessions. Like, it was a game that I could definitely sit down and play for a good amount of time. The one thing that stuck out to me a lot that I didn't quite remember from my first playthrough was how trivial the difficulty is in this game. I didn't die once the whole game.
I don't think I ever lost more than a heart.
Yeah, and well, not in the overhead section and the tank battle section. Like, I never came close to dying, except for the very final battle in the game.
I was gonna ask about that. I think you have to run out of health there.
Yeah.
No, you don't. I'll get to that later.
Anyways, it's funny because the game goes from the ultimate micro baby of the universe difficulty to you literally can't win. It's pretty weird, but I mean, I was kind of disappointed because my memory of this game was it being better than I found it to be this playthrough, but I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed the references that I got. I didn't get all of them because I've never played any of the mainline Dragon Quest games, but like Chrono Trigger, the tank. Come on,
That's such a good one.
So good. Like all the names of the tanks are funny. Like the little flavor text.
Yeah, flavor text were always
good.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, and like a lot of the like pop culture references, like they referenced American Idol, like different things, like. It hit the right way. Like this game's sense of humor for me was fantastic, so good. I had fun with like the little side things, like collecting enemies to make statues, so you can get more crew members for your tank. That was fun. I enjoyed mixing the crew members. They all have different abilities. I ended up settling with the 3 ninja slimes and just stuck with them because
they're good.
It was pretty cool. Like the way you're meant to play is like you see the bullet coming and you try and counter it, right? There's different bullets that do different things, but you don't have to do that. You can literally just throw
Zerg one cannon.
Yeah, you could just throw ammo into any cannon as fast as you can, and you'll win. You'll win. But I don't know. The thing that I like most about this game is its uniqueness. Like the tank battle section, there's something there. I feel like if looked at a bit more and worked on a bit more, that the whole tank battle mechanic in this game could be something very special. But yeah, The game looks nice. The music is nothing to write home about, but it's great. I enjoyed it, and I'm glad Colin enjoyed it too. And I can definitely see your point, Danny. Definitely understand where you're coming from.
Hopefully it's not going to be a Milan's Doki Doki Do-Re-Mi adventure thing where I'm just sitting here tantrum school or old arms and everybody else had a good time.
He hates whimsy, dude. It's
I hate
confirmed.
it. No, I will. So something I will say
rubbing
is
hands.
like versus that game, this game was more like charming rather than whimsical. So I liked that portion of it, like the dumb jokes, like
Do-Re-Mi
the
was...
don't don't get me started. But no, like I appreciated that. That's probably what kept me going through this game. I was like, oh, they say something funny. Those guys are named the Goonin Bros. Like, obviously that was not, but you know, and Tokyo Tom, that's my goat right there.
Yeah, Tokyo Tom was fantastic.
But yeah, sorry, not to monopolize. Chris Holden, Darth.
I can
I
go next.
played
So-
this game... Sorry, Darth, were you gonna go?
No, send it.
I played this game when I was a kid. I got it when it released. Just like super, I didn't remember why I got it. Maybe my mom got it for me. I don't even remember. I had played Dragon Quest VIII by the time this came out, and I love that game. But that's the extent of the Dragon Quest games I've played. And then one of the other DS Pokemon weird games, also weird and neat. But so I also didn't realize this game had a GBA first entry, and the fact that it didn't have the battling was really crazy to me. Because from my point of view, assuming this whole time that this game was the first in the series, I thought it just was really well polished and thoughtful for tutorialization and making sure like a stinky micro baby could figure this game out no problem, but also like still have like cool like Kirby tech, you know, like Kirby's a baby game, but there's like cool tech in it. Like even if it was dumb micro baby easy, there was always like really fun tech to engage with in the game, like doing the corner bounces so you're collecting items and grabbing them, and then like taking a step back so you can boink some like more items in your path, and it's like, oh, Tokyo Tom, like get out of here, dude.
Get
like
the
let
fuck
me
out of the
boink
way.
you
I don't care what you're
too.
trying to throw
I'm
me.
gonna throw you in the cannon, you dingus. And it's like it's so dynamic and crazy that like it probably I imagine with the like, hey, let's ship this game, let's keep it approachable, we can have the post game sweaty gritty stuff there and just make sure a majority of people play through the game as a whole. Most people are gonna have a good time with that, and while I usually don't like that philosophy, this is such a crazy combination of genres and mechanics that I think while it might be a safe approach, and I agree that there's a lot more depth to be desired, like what with Super was saying. But regardless of all that, I just have so much fun. Omega whimsy, all the puns you guys are talking about. And yeah, I really liked it, and it mirroring again what Super was saying. It was a lot more magical as a kid, but coming back to it as an adult, I was really impressed by it as a whole complete package.
Very nice.
Speaking of the whole
Darth?
package, Darth.
Hey, yeah. So I am a big DS gamer. Like the DS is basically like my equivalent to your guys' Super Nintendo.
Take it back.
Probably, I would say, or whatever. Anyways, I also have like a little bit of background with Dragon Quest, just playing Dragon Quest VIII. I think that's pretty much the only one I've ever played. So I was able to appreciate like some of the recurring like enemies and the sliminess of it all. Initially, I thought it was gonna be really stupid, and I wasn't into it. I was like, "This is just a stupid, dumb game for babies." But
And then
then
you realize
it
you were
started-
right.
Wow, dude, I started like realizing there was I felt actual like strategy and like fast-paced decision making that was I found really engaging. So like once I got to the tank battle section, I realized, okay, I'm not just collecting shit for like no purpose. You know,
Mhm.
I'm collecting it in order to make my tank stronger, and I was like starting to feel that cool like RPG energy in a way that I've never experienced before. It's like you guys said, it's super unique and interesting, and that really stood out to me. I felt pretty much the whole game was unique. I found its humor unique. I found the tank battles super, super unique. I've never experienced a kind of almost action RPG utilizing that kind of battle system. And I mean, I even enjoyed the music, like that kind of like Troubles of Bruin music with all like the sound effects, like doom 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 dicka doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so Dragon Quest, by the way.
So like it started off really weak, but then I just kept discovering new reasons to like it for a lot of the reasons you guys have already said, and I thoroughly enjoyed it pretty much the whole time, and I felt it did not overstay its welcome. Like as soon as I was kind of ready to be done, because the tank battles do have a bit of a like an upper limit to the strategy, you know? As soon as I kind of was finished with it, the game finished. And that being said, I also recognize that there's a ton of room for a ton of optimization, which is always something I like in my RPGs.
Mhm.
So overall, made a really good impression on me.
All right, Chris, would you like to close us out for the intros?
Sure. My experience with Dragon Quest was, I guess, maybe collectively like 1 hour spent with Dragon Warrior on NES. So I don't really have any experience with the series. So this is also my first Dragon Quest game. I guess I think the best thing about this game is just the art. It's really fucking cute. It's extremely cute. And I think it's really boring. I don't like playing it at all. Fucking real
Thank God.
bad.
Chris gets me.
It's like intolerable. The tank sections, particularly. Like I don't know. If it was just the overworld section, I think I'd have a better time with it. But I did not enjoy playing this at all. It's cute though.
Yeah, very. It's delightful.
Poor Colin.
I mean, it's fine.
I love the tank
I
section.
totally understand why someone
like
would
big
think this is
robots. I
boring.
like being inside them and maneuvering, going into the other
Listen,
big
man,
robots.
I don't need your
man.
fetishes in my video games,
Hold
all right?
on. I have a question for the tank battles. Did you ever just like attack the other tank with your slime and just fuck them up while your boys just shot
Yeah, I
things?
do that about half the
Yeah.
time. There's like
Very,
a
very
binary.
effective strategy.
Yeah, there's like a tree of decisions. It's like sometimes it's really good to, I'm gonna throw 3 shields down. I'm gonna throw big slime in, and then I'm gonna go, and it's gonna.
That's right.
I'm gonna get a sure shot in. And I love those little decisions. They're
Yeah, it's
so
good.
fun on the fly. It's easy, but man, is it? I love.
Yeah.
I want. Okay, real quick tangent. Halo 3. The scarabs. They're walking around big animatronic looking. The boss from the Sanctuary Fortress of Metroid Prime 2. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They're walking around. They have these big old energy things, like these cores, and you got to hop on them and blow them up, and then you got to get out. This game is just nonstop. Get inside the mech and blow it up, and that's so fun and cool. I can't even imagine not having fun with that.
It's kind of cool, but
I think so. Like Darth and Holden, you talked about the speed of decisions, and I agree that when shit's going in this, there's so much dynamism, right, to how things can happen. But to Danny's point, if it were, well, sort of evolving from Danny's point, I think if it were hard or even remotely challenging, it would make that much cooler.
Yeah, I
Yes,
can agree with that.
absolutely.
yeah.
So I loved it and had a great time, regardless of whether it was hard, because I didn't care. I like baby easy games anyway. So like I'm just chilling, having a great time. But to Danny's point, if it's like mind numbing, then yeah, I get it.
Well, it was just on top of it being mind numbing. It was like sometimes like I would try to use the Vulcan can. Like I was trying to play it, trying to use the Vulcan turrets, and then the friggin' morons would pick up the bullets and throw them in the cannon. And then I'd try to hit them, and then I'd end up picking them up instead of the bullets. And then some other dude would pick up the bullets, and I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
spam.
it's very
Did you
like
all
Three
realize
Stooges.
you can change their individual AI when you pause?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you
'Cause
can-
that
you
makes a
change how
huge
they behave.
decision. It's like every time they would
Yeah.
annoy me, you just switch it up.
I got
It's cool too because like a lot of there's some characters that have unique abilities. Like I don't. There's one enemy in late game called the Killing Machine, and if you get him on your crew, he has an ability, well, an AI option to target the captain of the other tank.
Ooh, that's cool. I didn't know
So he'll
that.
literally just bum rush the leader of the other tank and kill him.
that's great.
And so you can like set your partners to be on the offense in the other tank, or you can do it yourself and have your partners fire. Like you can have Tokyo Tom. I know he can either give you ammo or he can disguise himself as ammo and sneak onto the other tank and fuck shit
Mhm.
up.
So I stuck with mostly some of the characters from early on. I did alter their tactics, like in some of the. I was altering their tactics throughout, but I sort of stuck with the some
Yeah.
early characters. But I'm just wondering if maybe I would have had a better time if I'd used maybe I don't know if they're stronger or what. Later
They just have
characters.
different. They offer different gameplay styles, basically, and there are some characters that are just stronger too.
Yeah, and
But
I also
go ahead.
I also didn't. Maybe I didn't optimize my ammo enough or something because maybe I'm just missing something with the tank stuff. Like I get it. You gather the ammo and you
Right.
get the better items and.
Well,
all that.
was it just boring, or did like? I'm assuming
Yeah,
you didn't
it's
like have a
just-
hard time, like you were losing.
For the
them.
most part, yeah, just super tedious. I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
because it's so easy. It's like, okay, like I was actually
Right.
finding that my health was going down to 0 a lot, but then I just have to like wait for them to come in, then I'd melee them, and then they'd respawn, and then it would just be it just took a long time, just super tedious. I will describe my experience with the final boss, which is basically it was like felt like 30 minutes of that fucking 1500 health tank battle, and then we were both at 0 health, and I went in to destroy the tank, and then I actually died.
Wow.
So yeah, I have not finished the game because I'm not doing that again.
How many hearts did you have at the end?
I don't know, a row plus 1.
Oh.
So I was getting hit a lot, I guess, because I'm trash, bad video gamer.
No.
That's interesting.
Game's kind of jank, dude.
It-
I mean,
it
think
sounds like
maybe
you kind of
you,
rushing
like-
through the end.
Yeah, I think you like might have missed like getting certain ammo. Or, like,
Oh,
did you do the alchemy at all to get better
No,
shit?
I can't fucking crafting and shit. I was like, oh, I saw that, and I'm like, no, I don't want to.
It was an absolute chore to go through those menus as well, and it's like, oh, you can't use them if they're equipped, so you have to go back and go through the
Yeah, that's
menu. And then I was just like, yeah, no. I'm
Yeah,
just
so a
gonna
big
start
part of it
the
is just like this is like that collecting things in games and like backtracking and just like all this is like it's just not my kind of games. I'm kind of resistant to it anyways, and then like the fact that it's kind of just dull, having that dull gameplay loop for me, it just really not hitting.
I found myself, because it was a replay, and I didn't even remember my first playthrough. I found myself like bum rushing this game, and I wouldn't say doing the minimum because I think I still had like 17 hearts or something. But I really feel like I did no grinding or backtracking, despite when going back for the 100 slimes, and I had plenty of good ammo. But then again,
Yeah,
I was also
same.
like using the alchemy and stuff. If I was going back to the town, I just collected a whole level's worth of stuff. It was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I get to be thoughtful over my loadout, and that was fun. Then you're clapping cheeks for the next level.
It was funny as I was playing this game. Like I was like, all right, just hurry up, finish it, so we can progress. But then, as I was playing, I was like, wait a minute, I want to go over here and see if this is. Oh wait, I want to collect these guys. Wait, I need that for my tank. And like, I just naturally started doing extra shit.
absolutely,
And,
I
like,
completely agree.
I was going back to other levels just to collect enemies to make the statues.
Dude, I'm pissed off. I never knew you could do that. Make statues with the
But
enemies.
If you
man.
get
Did you go to the
30 of
museum?
one enemy,
I must
you-
have. I swear I went in like almost every building, dude. I must have just never gone to the museum.
yeah, in the
pissed
museum.
I
there's
also didn't.
statues.
God damn it.
So if you get 30 of one enemy, it creates a statue in the museum, and the enemy will be standing in front of their own statue, and you talk to them, and they offer their help in the tank.
Nice.
Cool.
And all the enemies have different abilities, and some of them are overpowered. fuck?
I think
See,
my
the thing that kind of it's a sour note for me about this game is they had something, but
Mhm.
they didn't like fully commit because you have all this optimization and strategy that's possible, but you don't need to do a single ounce of it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Did
can just
anyone do the full
mindlessly go through
extent
the game and
of the
win.
Colosseum?
No. I
I
saw
did.
there was
I'm
the
really
tank thing, and I was
curious to
like,
go
huh.
back and see if S rank is, if it really like requires all the mechanics, you know?
Okay. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
So you can't do S rank till you get all 100 slimes.
Mm.
I didn't die once during the whole game as a slime or the tank until the final battle in the arena, and there's one battle after S rank, and it's
Okay.
against Cooley, your little friend, your little pal.
Oh,
So he
man.
finally does something other than get hit by ammo.
no, my boy.
Dude.
That
He's so
fight,
negative.
that fight is so unbelievably stupid hard. You like the game is like, oh, okay, fine. You thought it was easy. Well, here you go. You can't win unless you literally go back into the other levels and collect resources to build stuff. There's some ammo in this game that's so unbelievably powerful that you literally don't even see until that final battle. Like the sun, the little like fireballs.
Mhm.
Those things, dude, they do like 120 damage and then they rain fire down on the inside of the tank.
Oh shit.
Damn. That's
So
pretty
you
cool.
can't move. It's pretty crazy. And I don't know, did any of you get the hero sword?
I did.
Yeah.
I was also disappointed by that.
You
Dude,
can get a
120
second
damage?
one. There's 2 hero swords.
Well, no, I mean
Um,
the like doing it. I was like, ooh, like a challenge, like a
no,
fight
that wasn't
challenge.
hard either.
And I just fell asleep during it. I was like, wait.
You just bounce around like
Yeah.
you do for most of this game.
Which is fun.
Like, no, I had a good time, but like, it could have been so much better. But like, it's weird because like I agree with Darth and Colin and Holden that like I had fun, I was engaged, but then like also it's like you could literally like be doing something else while you're playing this game and win. Like it's just
Yeah, man.
so like easy. Like you don't have to use any strategy. For the most part, I literally would see ammo, pick it up, throw it in a cannon. See ammo, pick it up, throw it in. I never looked at what was coming towards my tank.
Dude,
No.
I think there was so much micromanagement for me because I had 4 peppers on rotation. I was always telling my dudes like, whoa, don't get that pepper. You're going in the cannon. No pepper mode. And it was just like constantly fighting, and that sounds like fighting itself, but at the same time, it was just like it was a really good solution at the same time. So I don't know. I could see it being really less fun if all you're doing is just spamming ammo. But that
That's
like
what I did.
yeah, I think I recognized that as a strategy, and I was like, let's play with these
It's
all
the
these
best strategy.
toys. That
I mean, it could be
game
that
gives you.
it is a legitimate strategy, but you didn't see it as that. Like it is strategy, but it just was what came by default. So it's like it seems super easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the game's hard by any means. It's not, but there is a disparity in our group here. Chris
Yeah.
died several times and kept getting to 0
like
during the tank
twice.
fights. Well, so that I mean that's more than one. Okay, so it was twice, but compare that to the majority who didn't die at all ever. And you saying you got to 0 health in the tank. I'm not saying you're bad at the game or anything, but I'm just saying it's not like 100% baby easy.
I'm
There
so
is
offended
some
right now.
strategy, right? So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean the strategy of spamming, I guess you could call it strategy, but like that's calling like a television that's off a channel. Like it's the strategy is there is no strategy.
Love that channel.
I think okay to distill this in my own way to get some clarity on this, because I agree with I totally agree with what you're saying, Colin. I think if just like how Super and Mr. Donnie are saying, if the game were more difficult and actually required using the flavors of mechanics, it would be that Omega good experience.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to have fun and play with like the toys the game gives you, super cool, imaginative game. But if you can't do that, then you're left with a baby easy game that's gonna
You-
really frustrate you.
You're just like waiting until it's over because you want to go do something else.
Yeah, that was my experience with this game. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Chris, I wanted to
I
mention
mean,
you're talking. So, and this is just to go back to what you said before. I wanted to talk about it. Is you were talking about like how you don't like backtracking and you couldn't be bothered to deal with the alchemy. Personally, I didn't backtrack more than just to get the 100 slimes. I never specifically farmed an enemy. Other than that, I just wanted to beat up that one enemy for a second or two. Like, and I still had enough to like do some alchemy. So stop it.
Cut it out.
My I just didn't engage with the alchemy is my problem. Not so much that the only backtracking I had to do was when a point where I didn't have enough slimes rescued to get into the Goonin hole, the Goonin trial
Huh.
hole.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's
funny.
a minimum. I don't even remember.
I didn't.
there's-
Yeah, I
you
didn't
had to
know
have
that.
50, and I only had 45, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta go back.
Yeah, not to mention that
I
Every
gotta
more of
play
this
the
shit.
game. Oh no.
I
every
Yeah.
mean,
save also gives you resources, right? So there's
it was
that.
funny as I was playing this. Part of me was thinking like, this is gonna be the first game where everyone hates it, and I'm the one who picked it. And like I was one by one going through it. I thought you all were gonna say, and, like I remember thinking about Colin. I was like, Colin's gonna be like, I like depth of RPGs. What is this shit? This is a disgrace to the name Dragon Quest. Like, I mean, as I kept playing it and I had more fun as time went on, I was like, it'll be alright. It'll be fun.
Dude, like I think there's actually a significant amount of depth to the battles. I understand that like for a lot of you guys, you were like, fuck it, who cares? If you just fire through the cannon, like you're gonna win anyways, and that's true. But like, to me, it was kind of fun to be like, oh, this is my super good ammo. How am I gonna shoot this all out in such a way that I'm gonna have
Exactly.
like really strong
I love
attack?
thinking of that order. Yeah.
And you're thinking like, okay, like I already have a shield halfway through the middle lane. I'll shoot one shield at the top lane and backload a bunch of stuff behind the shield. Is my shield far enough where it's actually going to protect against the enemy fire that's
Uh-huh.
coming in?
And there's like different flight speeds too.
Would you guys ever save your items? Just like kind of stash them to the right on that
Yep.
little.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes
healing items.
if I wanted to like what Darth's saying, if I had a really good item but I wanted to make sure it didn't get canceled out, sometimes I would
Yeah, like a
even
mirror
throw
or something.
I would even throw my homies in the cannon in the line of fire so that
sorry, pal.
whatever
You got a
whatever the
mission.
big shot was gonna be was the last possible thing.
Yeah.
Get in there, Hooli, you stupid bitch.
Do your job, Baron Blubba. Be a big target.
I love the feeling of it's all in time, and you're just even throwing all your guys in and yourself and every item you saw, and it's such a good feel for me.
Like, fuck, I've got no ammo. There's a meteor coming. I'll fucking block
I'll do it myself.
Jump in the cannon.
dude. And
Damn, I never
also,
jumped in the cannon. That's
Yeah, no,
crazy.
I did that a lot. You can cancel a lot of items.
you can just like block like 150 damage with your face right next to your tank and run right back in.
See, like if
That's
this
really
game
cool.
forced you to do shit like that, or if it forced you to do the shield strategy that Darth was talking about, like if this game didn't allow you to win unless you thought that way, then it would have been like something very, very special. Like I think it would have been like an all-time classic that everyone talks about, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like I can't think of another game that's quite like this when it comes to the tank battles.
I agree. That's my biggest thing.
What that Darth talking about, like that was a mechanic I picked up on too. Also, did you guys know you can stretch yourself out and then like do your thing, but if you let go of the item, you fling it, like you chuck
Yeah, you
it?
super throw. Yeah.
Yeah, there's all
I
these
did not know
little
that.
there's all these little micro mechanics that are like super
But there's
cool
no
when
point
it adds
to,
up.
so why bother?
Yeah,
But there
that's the
is a
problem.
point because you're like, hey, I want to like destroy this mech, and it when you're like linking
I
everything
want to be
together.
Master Chief on the Scarab.
Like I could, okay, true. Everyone wants to be Master Chief on the Scarab, but I feel like I'm piecing together this experience where it's like, oh man, it's not that fun. I'm just spamming ammo versus like all these cool moments that can be set up in the game. And sure, maybe it's a slog at times, but You
So-
can literally you can shoot yourself out of a cannon to hit
Yeah.
a meteor coming at your
That's sick
robot.
as
Like
fuck. That's sick.
it's so cool.
Dude,
The thing is,
sorry, you go.
I was spamming most of the time, but I was still having fun doing it, like just running and throwing ammo in the cannon. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I am working towards a goal right now. Like, and to me, that was enough. Like, it was satisfying enough. But like, this definitely is. I can see how this is so divisive because,
Yeah.
like,
I
both
do too.
points on both sides are completely valid.
Yeah,
And, like,
I
it's
agree
totally
with the other
understandable.
side too. And
It's
I
totally
had tried
understandable.
to like micromanage my thing, but it was just like, well, I spent all this time prepping to throw a shield. It got halfway there, and then I threw all my stuff, and then like, oh wait, they random chance also decided to do the same thing, so I just wasted the last like minute of planning, and this already takes too long. So fuck it, I'm just gonna zerg my cannon. Like I tried that, but it was just like when it didn't pay off, it was just like more fuel to the fire. It's like fuck it, I'm zerging.
Yeah. I see what you're getting at.
And I forget the exact term when it comes to like game design, like the actual like study of game design, but it's basically the path of least resistance. If you
Right.
put something in a game that's easy and offers little resistance and leads to success, the majority of the time that's exactly what the player is going to do.
Yeah.
It's a game design principle. I remember reading about, it wasn't in a book, but it was in an article. I don't remember exactly what it was, but anyways,
Was it
I feel like
about
this game, what's that?
was it about Doom 2016 and people using the super shotgun, and then the game designers were like, "Fuck, people aren't allowed to have fun," so then they designed Doom Eternal.
I don't, this was long before Doom 2016 was a thing. I don't remember what it was about, but anyways, that's like a principle that I think this game really highlights quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because
Totally.
there is a path. There's two paths when you're playing. How did you get that many mystery bags? What the
I
fuck?
think
Are
if
you
you kill
hacking?
certain monsters the intended way, they have a guaranteed item bag drop.
Wow.
Because I noticed
know.
when they're fire dudes, I would hit into the water and they'd always drop an item. Sick tech game has lots of cool little sick tech to pick up on that
Oh,
never
great.
explicitly
Yeah.
teaches you.
And then
It's
you open
pretty
the bag
cool.
and it's a boulder inside. Thank God I did all of that.
Dude, I
Yeah,
got
but
so many good items
sometimes
from
it's
the
a
bags.
really rare item. But anyways, that leads back to my original point before I saw those bags. Like this game, when you start playing it, there's a fork in the road. You either go down Holden and Darth's path, or you go down Danny and Chris's path and kind of my path. Or wait, there's a third one, but you fly over both roads. That's Colin's path.
Yeah,
Neutral
And
routes.
like,
you're just having a great time.
yeah, you're you're just flying through the air screaming yay. But yeah, that's really interesting to me how this game offers two such drastically different experiences, just 100% dependent on what type of game player you are. And I think that in and of itself is really cool.
It's
Also,
just-
going back to what you're saying, it totally does highlight a weakness of the game.
Definitely. I think that probably the two biggest weaknesses are the easiness of it and the grindiness of it. If you removed those two things, I think it would be like super omega top tier.
When you say grindiness, are you just talking about like the slog fights or what?
No, I'm talking about like trying like I really would have loved to have like a few bastard swords, but the amount of like grinding I would need to do to
yeah.
achieve that was not worth it, given how easy the game was. Like I still really engaged with the tank battles, and I really enjoyed the idea of alchemy, but I didn't really want to use it because it was annoying and unnecessary to win. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I would have appreciated if it was like, okay, maybe I have to like kill an enemy 10 or 20 times, but it's like, dude, some of the like requisite materials were just ridiculous to obtain.
Yeah,
at
you
least
had to
in
do
my
a lot of
experience.
alchemy to reach its final form.
I
of
really
the
like
Also-
item.
the Vulcan ammo, and the amount of shit you need to make one upgraded Vulcan ammo is absolutely asinine. It's
You
fucking
can just
ridiculous.
combine 3 in the ship
Yeah,
to get
like
the
good luck
bullets.
doing that before Big Blubba fucking tosses them out.
Exactly. That's funny.
Dude, I never used the Vulcan cannon a single time.
It's
Yeah, same.
kind of not worth it. Well, I mean, the bullets are worth because they do 2 every time, so it ends up doing like 20 damage. But the pellets
It's
are
great. I think it's actually an excellent weapon because like if you set yourself up with a lot of shields like me and shoot Vulcan bullets, it's like it racks up for sure, and
Mhm.
it just plays more into the dynamics of the game because like every single time I go to shoot my Vulcan cannon, it's not just like okay, I have a lot of Vulcan bullets. My main thing is shooting the Vulcan cannon. I will go to the cannons and say I want to shoot the Vulcan cannon, but I'm looking at what's incoming. I'm like, shit, should I use some of this ammo to like block the meteor that's coming in? You know, is like, well, you know what I mean? I just, I honestly couldn't believe how dynamic it was. Also, I just wanted to say, like, the atmosphere, like, Holden talks about how it feels like he's jumping in a scarab to blow it up, and I completely agree. Like, the entire battle feels incredibly dynamic. Like, there's people being shot in from their cannons, people coming in on the ground floor. You can do the same thing. You can see the ammo passing overhead and like falling to the ground when you're outside the
Yeah,
cannon.
it's all happening across multiple screens, like not
Yes,
dual screen DS, but like literally all the different areas going on. Leave the
it's
ground, the
incredibly believable.
sky, the different tanks. It's really cool. All 30 plus sprites on each side that all
Yeah.
have their positions tracked.
It's cool. Like sometimes I'd have Hooli shoot himself out of cannon, and then oh shit, someone's coming into the tank. So then, as soon as he hits the ground, I'm like, Hooli, go fuck them up, and then he'll start fighting them, and it's like, dude, uh, like I don't think a single tank fight really played out exactly the same, in my opinion. Like I was having to make, there was some where their main thing was just shooting big damage bullets, which is kind of different in itself, but. Like some people they were using the ghost bombs, and it was like, oh shit, like my shields are useless.
Holy water time.
Excuse
Yeah,
me, they were called spooklier bombs,
yeah,
please.
those were sick.
Yeah, they were sick.
Um,
That's
on
so
the
good.
topic of not having items to use alchemy, I'm curious because the game gives you 100 items worth from slimes. The victory items from beating the the Omega robots. The game's like giving you items nonstop, and then on top of that, see, this is what I'm most curious about. Every time I saw free easy items, I grab them.
Oh yeah,
You got a track like half a screen away, just throw those. Oh, there's free wings. Let's just spam those on everything I see.
yeah.
And
Like
it's
anytime I
like,
saw boomerang 100 ton, I grabbed it. I would backtrack sometimes a full screen. Like,
yeah, and like I guess technically that's grinding, but I wasn't going really out of my way. It was just like, oh, here, let's throw. I get free swords now. Let's throw the screen's worth of swords on. So I'm curious if you guys were doing that as you were
Oh, I
playing.
definitely did that, and some. I
Yeah,
would go back to levels literally just to collect shit.
I was collecting items when it was convenient, and like you said, you get a ton just from playing.
mhm,
Again, my it's just on me because I just chose to not engage. As soon as I saw it's like, okay, there's some sort of crafting system where you have to collect a bunch of shit.
right.
I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna engage with this because it didn't seem like the game required it, and I don't think it does.
no.
Uh, so yeah, I just chose to not engage with it. That's a me problem.
That's
No.
fair. I was just curious.
When it said like when I checked and it's like, all right, make this bastard sword. It takes 6 broadswords and like 4
Like
girders.
2 arrows or something. It's like,
Yeah, and I'm
oh
just
my
like, well,
god.
I'm missing one of those, and I gotta pull them out of my tank. It's just like, nah. And then I'd get like the next tier, and then I need 3 of those items, and I was so far like behind that I was like, I am absolutely never gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't even
Hmm.
think it's really necessary. Like the way that I played the game, which I think is like quasi strategic, was like even though like 2/3 of my items were complete shit, it didn't matter because the way in which I shot them, they were more used as like meat shields for my actually
Oh
good
yeah, I had so
stuff.
many like boomerangs and terrible
Yeah,
items just to be a buffer.
they're still effective.
Hmm.
So you don't actually need to have like a fucking full set of bastard swords and hero swords and whatever, like big dick ammo. You can still like even if you're trying to be strategic and monkey with the game's mechanics, you don't really need to craft that much. Um,
The only time you need to have a lot of really powerful ammo and like the right crew is when you're doing the post game tank tournament shit.
yeah. And to be
That's
honest, even though I said I really enjoyed the game and I enjoyed the strategy, I didn't really feel super inclined to tackle the difficult end game I think because I saw a lot of grinding in the future, and I was like, fuck that. But I don't know.
I wanted to, I just don't have time. Maybe I'll come back.
I did it, and it wasn't really that. Like I didn't die until the very very final one. Like I just breezed through all the ranks until the final battle. I think the reason I was able to just breeze through most of the tank fights like that is because I was taking the time to get good ammo,
Mm.
and like I was using a lot of different crew members and their abilities. Some are really OP.
So you're actually engaging with the game and having a better time. Like me,
Yeah,
like saying
basically.
"fuck this game" and not
But like
even
not fully
bothering.
though, because I was still just spamming through tank battles. Like I not one time did I ever plan any attack. I never thought even a little bit about what I'm going to throw next and why and in which cannon. I just lobbed things
Did you enjoy it
mindlessly.
anyways, though? Like, did you
Yeah,
enjoy the
I
tank? Well,
did.
oh, that's fucking sick then. Look at
I
that.
did. I had a good. It was like a nice, relaxing, mindless time. You know, the reason I enjoyed it is because like like it felt good to just throw shit in the cannon and know that it's heading towards my enemy. And part of the of me enjoying grinding was also having the thought like I want to be as powerful as I can to fuck these fuckers up because fuck them. Like it's kind of I don't want to say it was personal because that's silly because it's a fucking little sprite on a DS screen, but like it
I,
just felt good to just go up to my enemy and just fucking dominate them.
I would
And
like to.
having all optimal shit just made that all that much more. It made me more dominant.
I'd like to defend myself in the gameplay here with what
I
I
think you
think is
died.
one of the game's shortcomings.
Oh my god, that's a little.
I was like, what is the fucking point? It's just stupid. It's just kind of
Mm.
funny.
All
I
right,
don't know.
seems
It's just kind of
we may
funny, I
be
guess.
back with our live studio audience.
Are we back?
We are back.
All right. Sorry about that, folks.
Yes.
Ooh.
So apologies. It was Twitch. It wasn't me. I was here the whole time. But pretty much what I was saying is in that gameplay footage where I was shit in the bed completely, it's because I was trying to use the extended Elasto Blast, which I found out takes longer to charge, and you actually end up moving slower doing
And that's
it
why I think that's a fantastic tutorial.
to not interface with an advanced technique because it's not worth it. I do know you
No,
said it
because
does do
you
more
learn that
damage.
it will make you travel further,
It's a
but it takes
choice.
longer.
Yeah, but so you end
If
up.
you didn't have that moment, you would have been
But there is no
unoptimizing your
point
movement for the entire game.
where charging that makes you go further quicker. I'm saying it's slower and it's slower.
But it does more damage to
It does big
enemies.
damage and it's fun.
It's not fun. It does do good damage.
I had fun with it. That sounds like a you problem, man.
It's a game problem.
It's just again, it's different types of game players.
Dude, when you're waiting on a full charge and you're looking at the map above and you're like, this freaking jabroni's about to come into my full charge, it
Yup.
feels so good, dude.
I'm with you, Holden. I'm an
Goons.
Elastoblast fan.
I never fully charged it once at all during the whole game. I
That's
just couldn't.
crazy.
I was using it against one of the final in one of the final tank battles. One of the enemies is immune to like smaller charges. You gotta use the full charge.
I wanted to kill all of the enemy tanks, like their hearts, with the full charge Elastoblast.
Were you guys throwing the good items at enemies?
When I needed to.
I did kind of enjoy how you could like Omega combo like a shit ton of enemies together, just keep throwing them all at each other. And so for that reason, anytime I needed to do a bunch of damage, I would just kind of like combo two things next to each other, and it didn't really matter what the damage was because they were just like stun locked.
Do
Yeah.
you mean throwing items at the tank through the cannon, or literally throwing them at the other characters?
Throwing them at the
enemies
other
into
characters.
enemies.
Yeah. See, I never really did that. I just hit people with my.
It
was-
felt
Master
like it
Blast.
did way more damage based
And
off
it was
the item
entirely
type.
spammy and
It might,
brainless, just like the rest of the game. So
This game is so
I-
cohesive that I doubt that it didn't do more damage.
I just never even thought to do that. I don't know. I mean, it takes 3 hits to kill most things, so I was like, whatever.
True.
I
Just
did
hit 'em 3
appreciate
times.
at the very end, that part where there's like 100 killing machines, I was like, oh, here comes the like, oh, you're not alone, Rocket, I'm with you. And
Yeah,
it
I
was
know,
just
right?
like, fight him. And I was like, oh, cool, all right.
That was actually pretty fun. That part.
Yeah.
And the boss fight, the mob leader, like that was actually fun. I thought if the game was actually that, like the GBA game or whatever. I don't know if the GBA game is exactly that.
It is.
Okay, well
It's
that sounds
basically
actually fun.
identical to this game, just without. I mean, it's the exact same graphics and music. Literally the same music.
Oh, except it probably sounds way shittier on the GBA.
Yes, it
Yeah.
sounds much shittier.
It's like,
But
yeah, tin can.
Or,
that's where I got 30 killing machines on that part. I just kept going back and throwing them on the little rocket cart.
can we talk
It didn't
about
take long.
this game's music and how it felt like there was like 6 tracks that wore out their welcome about
Biggest
30 minutes
criticism.
in?
Easy.
Yeah, the music was definitely a weak point in this game for sure.
They're good tracks.
No.
It's just there's 5.
I will say the Slival tank battle theme is great,
It's so
and
good.
yeah, the plob theme is really good.
Ow.
Yeah. Some of the voice clips are really good too in this game.
Mhm.
Like they're few and
yeah.
far between, but that makes them even better. Like when they hit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even really notice that there was a shortage of tracks. I just was bopping to them all. It would come on and be like, I like this one. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
The
all
Dragon Quest
1
theme
minute at a
comes on whenever
time.
You start the tank battle. Shit goes
Oh
like
yeah, it was fantastic.
doo, doo, doo.
Every time I heard it, I was like, yeah, yeah.
This is a goofy tangent that I don't want to. Metaphor brings its title music back at near the end of the game. That's all I'll say.
Spoiler.
Sure. This game does it too, but it didn't
Does.
feel impactful and cool. It was like, oh, they didn't have enough songs.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, yeah, this song is only 30 seconds long. Got it. That being said, the Got Schleiman was fantastic. I was sad to not see the boys in there. I know why they weren't, but it just being you and the Slival was very, eh.
Is that Meta Knight Kirby guy in other Dragon Quest games?
No.
Or Meta Knight Slime, sorry.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, he's just a slime with a Meta Knight helmet, basically.
That's literally all he is.
He's just a this game character.
Oh, okay.
the Slival.
Yeah,
They-
who's the
they've
slime?
done
Who's your
pretty funny.
rival?
It's just like
Oh, I
it's just
never
funny
fucking
how
put that together, dude.
You did talk.
This whole game is jokes.
That's awesome.
yeah, the amount of the puns, like I usually am not a huge pun guy, but this game did it right. Definitely.
Yeah, for me, it's like they were doing that beating the dead horse thing, but it would roll over and get you with one. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, that was kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Which is this game's a little over the top with that when it comes to like the localization and how much of that there is, but that's generally the Dragon Quest vibe. Like if you are playing one and you go around talking to the NPCs, there's usually one dumb gag in every town, and it's like, all right, cool.
I like that.
You know,
I'm a fan
And not
of
to
that.
boom out too hard, but it feels really refreshing compared to today's climate of games that feel very
God of
similar,
War, yeah.
homogenized, and safe, and terrible translations, not preserving the humor, and blah blah blah.
Yeah. This was back when they still made games that were, games
Uh-huh.
and not either anime gotcha, a hero shooter, or a third person cinematic narrative. That's,
Hey,
that's
man.
all there is. That's all there is.
Onimusha.
Woo!
Every now and then there's a real game.
Yeah, they
Um,
sneak one in there.
speaking of things related to the music, the art. Don, you want to pull up that sprite so I can talk about a goofy detail in this
Yes,
game?
I can.
Something that I notice. So I love this game's art. The backgrounds are like pretty serviceable, whatever. Not to be rude, like they're good. But the sprites themselves, like the
Really good.
objects, the entities, the enemies. I said that the NPCs, all that. They're so good,
They're really good.
and
looks fucking great on a DSi.
it really does. One of the goofy details I noticed, I hunted down the sprite sheet just for the chess. If you guys noticed, it had a different animation for all 8 directions that you would throw the chess. So it had diagonal rolls, horizontal, vertical, and it would respect like the up, down, left, right. It was really cool. I've never seen a game do that.
That is cool.
Yeah.
A lot of games will
Appreciable.
cheat their chess too. Like you're like A plus is like a full chest sprite animation. Like a lot of the things you see nowadays with 2D games is you'll see like the same sprite but like a hacky version of like the top part like removing or something,
Mhm.
or like transforming the sprite, like doing all these lazy things. But here, these devs made a full 3D rotating chest in every direction, and I think that's so cool. So I wanted
Yeah,
to share
that is really cool. Like sitting here looking at them, like this is the angle of each and like the diagonals. That is really to be appreciated.
It's the animation, like the sprites themselves are fantastic, but this game's animation, like it's the slimes themselves, like when they're bouncing around, or like when you're sliding down the rope and you're spiraling
I love
around
that
it.
animation.
Like there's like the animations are so good in this game. Like you can tell that whoever was drawing and animating this game loved what they were fucking doing the entire time.
He's just a little slime guy.
Honestly, like I really do love the look of it and stuff. It's part of the reason I kind of feel bummed that I don't actually like the gameplay at all, because it's very, like I said, it's very cute. It's very enjoyable. Love
The
looking at it.
sounds too,
Yeah.
to accompany the sprites and the animation are perfect. The little sounds they make. Like I remember I was going around in the town and I blasted, just mindlessly mashing buttons, and I hit one of the other slimes, and the sound it made literally made me feel bad. Like I felt bad.
Did you
I was like,
talk to
"Oh,
the
Yeah, that happened to
slime?
me too.
I'm so sorry. Like it made me feel like a bad guy.
Did you go up and talk to them after you hit them?
I did.
Because
Yeah.
they all say different shit, which is
Yeah, it's
fantastic.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so that, in addition to the sprite work for the chest and what you guys are talking about, that's like the Dragon Quest polish. It's funny, like it's almost like a given for me when I play. I'm like, yeah, that's what they do. But that is what they do, and it's awesome. It's one of the reasons I love the series, because like they are really just proud of it, you know, and are not gonna shortcut some dumb thing because they can. They're gonna make a product they're proud of.
Yeah, like as much as I sit here and like whine and well, I didn't have fun, I thought this was dumb. It's like this was there were no shortcuts. Like nothing feels like they, I don't know, like checked out. Like even the tank, like I might not have enjoyed the way it played out, but it was still very thoughtfully designed. Like I will never shortchange them on that.
Well, good, and I appreciate that.
It's not their
And
fault. It
clearly-
sucks.
Clearly they did it right, because it really connected with Darth and Holden and Colin, like quite a bit. Like the way Darth was describing, like the way he was throwing his items was like, holy shit, like that's awesome.
Hmm.
Like the fact that he had that experience while playing it is really, really awesome. Like it means that the devs did a good job. It might not reach everyone that way, but if it reaches some people that way, mission accomplished.
Definitely. I felt rewarded by the nuances present in the battle system, for sure.
It's just it just depends on the type of player you are, I guess. Like Danny's like super technical, like Alien Soldier Melee. Like he likes a game that's like it's a fine Swiss timepiece. Like you have to
I
control
like that.
each fucking gear yourself. And some people just like, you know, it's like fishing by the lake. You just sit down in your chair, open a beer, turn on the radio. You know,
Yeah,
They're
I gotta
two
say that-
different enjoyable experiences.
We've talked in the past about like your experience in life when you're playing it and all that, like how that affects your enjoyment. And this month, I've been pretty busy, so having my off time to play something where I turn my brain off a decent amount when
Look
playing
at the little
this.
slime guy bounce. He's having fun. I'm having fun.
Exactly. The dude's
Look how
smiling
happy
the
he
whole time.
is. He
It was
smiles the whole
much
game.
appreciated.
Yeah, I always found it funny that the slime was like an enemy, and I'm assuming he's like one of the first enemies in every
Yeah.
Dragon Quest, and you just
Uh-huh.
murder them like they're nothing.
Yeah.
And like the way he became like the mascot essentially of the series and became like such a beloved character is it's so funny. Like and the characters like that, it's funny how they appeal to people. Like it's almost like there is no character, right? He's just a blue blob with a smiley face. That's it. Even in the game, like Rocket doesn't say anything.
He's a
You know,
proxy for the character player.
Yeah, exactly. He's just a little blue blob with a smile, but like everyone fucking loves him.
I love when he gets hit and he does that voice.
Yeah. The noises that come out of those slimes is pretty good.
There's usually more actually, but at least one slime in the Dragon Quest games. You like find him in a city hiding in like an alley, and you talk to them and like, oh god, don't hurt me, I'm a good slime. You know? So it's like just the premise of this game, it being about it's just the enemies of the games, like, and them talking and have personalities, like even that fits. You know, it's hard to explain, but
No, I get it. It's like a world within a world, like that for Dragon Quest fans. Like you're so used to fighting them, that you never stop to think that they have their own little world going on.
Their own little utopia.
look at
I think
that.
that's cool.
Look at that sprite.
Oh, the duck. Yeah, his hair. Yeah, that's good. His mouth hanging open.
Bro smoked too much.
Yeah.
Dr. Sid a little smoked out. I didn't like that enemies can just waltz into your base and your door's just open, but if you go there when they're not leaving, you can't get in.
You can.
Yeah, you
Kill
can.
the
You
door.
just beat the shit out of the door and it opens up.
Oh, no
Yeah.
way. I just
So,
waited
yeah.
because my fucking doors just open up for everybody.
I think that's
So-
also Klein. I think. Do you understand that better than I do? I think you do.
I was gonna share an anecdote, so you explain it, and then I want to share just a fun.
I don't know exactly, but I noticed that happening more with certain enemy types than others. And there were literally, I saw a couple times, at least one enemy type literally like get to the door and it was closed, and then they just walked all the way back. So
Oh, fuck.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
some
wouldn't
enemies
surprise
could
me.
teleport into the tank.
Mhm.
Some jump up into like the cannon port where
Uh-huh.
the cannons are, and like they're all different. Some of them are completely invisible. Those ones are fuckers.
Yeah.
I hate those guys.
I own
Yeah.
these idiots, dude.
One of the green gooning guy kept throwing shurikens at me. I was like, dude, we're gonna have a fucking problem. And then he hit one of the invisible guys. I was like, all right, we're cool.
He was like, I had your back, bro.
Yeah, he kept hitting me too, over and over and over. But yeah, I stuck with the three ninja guys most of the time just because it looked cool having them.
Yeah.
I stuck
Yeah.
with the basic 3 homie squad you start with because I literally didn't know you could do the museum to get more. So it's just me.
No, you throughout the whole
Cruzy.
game, you're getting more too.
Yeah, you can use Mother Gluperior. She
So
heals.
yes, but I only got the ones that they like give to you through
Mhm.
collecting the like getting the rest of the slimes. But
Yeah, like
there was
certain
like
slimes.
still like 2.5 pages. I was like, well, what are all these question marks? And
Who
now I
are
know.
these people?
Yeah, that's part of the game for the people who are engaged by it. I'd
And I
say.
wouldn't have done that because I don't. It's not my thing. I don't want to grind for all that. It's cool that it's there, but
Or for the
That's-
10-year-olds who have this game on DS and nothing else. You know?
and
Yeah, exactly.
For
That
Darth.
was actually one of the things I was gonna say. Like when I was a kid, I only had so many fucking DS games, and a DS game that you could like sink your teeth into, and like do a shit ton of grinding in was actually fantastic. So I could totally have seen myself as a kid like fucking getting all the best shit and just having a blast doing that. So I think it's like good for. I think this game is fucking sweet for kids, man. I think if I had played this game when I was like 12, I would have absolutely like.
I literally
hammered
played this game when I was 12.
Dude, yeah.
kids and dads apparently.
Dude, I'm just saying, if a dad played this with his kid over his shoulder and then like handed off, this shit would have been aces, which I get, I respect. But me, I played this game like this in the gameplay footage. I was like, yup.
This is why I loved it because I'm just a dad gamer without kids. That's my
You
style
have Myra.
these days.
Darf's
yeah,
good.
that's
Let
true.
Myra
Darth,
play
my
this.
son.
Yeah, what is
See,
Mario?
and Colin and Darth enjoyed it. They would have enjoyed it together. Check that out.
So real quick, just to back up, the anecdote I wanted to share is, and Danny, maybe you would have thought this was fun. There is one tank battle near the end where the enemy was using like their squad, their like tank staff was all killing machines, and the enemy leader was like really fast. And that was the one mission, one tank fight. I decided to just like bum rush and break down their door by myself without throwing anything and just fuck them all up myself. That was hard. Because, like, they are really fast and they have things that explode, and it was like I had to actually game, you know. So
Yeah.
that was kind of fun.
You're going there, hitting your angles, getting nasty with it.
And I also had to play neutral. Like if I overcommitted, I would let them in, and they would just go to town on me, you know, like start throwing things and blow up my tank. So I feel like you would have enjoyed that, Dan.
Yeah, like that does sound pretty cool.
The sweat.
I remember that fight. I would just literally stand at the front door and wait for them, and then kill them one by one as they elected.
Right.
Yeah, that was kind of my tactic for all of them, especially near the end, because it seemed like, I don't know, I was just dying. Like my tank was dying, and then I couldn't keep, like I just had to do that.
You were doing like the low percent run, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Any percent.
Yep.
But Colin, did you do the very final battle against Hooli?
No, I didn't even know the Coliseum was a thing. I
Yeah,
literally.
you can select all the mechs throughout the game as
Where
yours.
is it?
Yes, in the Coliseum you can play as any tank.
Oh, that's cool.
It makes literally no difference. Well, no, some of them have special abilities.
Yeah, like
Like
the
the
axe that
axe.
comes down or the horn.
Yeah.
Oh,
or
you
the
can
drill,
play
I mean.
as the other tanks.
That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
That's
Yes.
cool.
But yeah, the Coliseum's fun. Like as you get further into the Coliseum, it gets hard. Like
I'm
S
gonna-
rank
I'm gonna
is.
try it.
I didn't lose in S rank, but I came close. And the final battle is just like, it's stupid. It's so dumb. What I ended up doing on the final battle was, I would inevitably reach 0 health. And when Hooli would, it was just you and Hooli. There's no crew. It's just you two. I would wait for him to try and blow my tank up, kill him, and then run to his tank. And I would throw shit at his tank while he was dead, and slowly whittle his. He has 3,000 health, by the way.
Oh my god.
I would slowly whittle his health away, and just defend when he tried to come and finish me off. And eventually I won. It took a really long time, but and he has like 5 or 6 hero swords too, by the way.
Dang.
There's times where he throws 3 hero swords from each cannon, like simultaneously. They just come out rapid fire.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to block all that.
Dude, one pepper, literally one pepper would destroy all those.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or you the dynamite. The dynamite
the
destroys
dynamite.
everything.
Or you could mirror those swords.
Mechanics, bro.
Yes, you can mirror them. You could also mirror them.
They
Ca-
do.
Kind of going back to the art and flavor text for a second. I was thinking as I was playing this, it's actually kind of a blessing we played Drawn to Life, because the way this game does the town expansion and coming back to life was so much better.
Oh
You
yeah.
aren't
yeah.
forced to go talk to every little crying rabbit, right? You can just do it when you want to if you feel like it. The buildings, although they aren't the most meaningful, they still were more interesting. So Omega points for this game's town.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
and
good.
it just
Planning,
looks
yeah.
better too in general.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. But yeah, the town was cool. I every time a ball got lifted, those spike balls, I was like, "Oh, sick!" Like it was legitimately exciting when I would get enough slimes to clear a spike ball. The museum was cool. I enjoyed the collection aspect of
Going
it.
in there was definitely cool. I was like, oh hey, if I wanted to do this, I could do this. Don't want to do that. Back to the game.
Like for completionists,
Oh
this
yeah,
game
like
is
like Darth saying, like if you wanted to sink your teeth in, it gave
Yeah.
you.
This game, especially for the fucking ammo, dude. To get the most powerful ammo it's ridiculous. Like those fireballs, those little mini suns. Oh my god, it's so stupid. But you
Get those just so you can dump on your friends in the PvP.
Yeah,
There's like really no reason to otherwise, I guess. Or other than that final fight, yeah.
But other than that, yeah, there's no reason to get any of that shit. I saw the Vulcan cannon and I read what it did and I was like, nah, and I never
Yeah.
used it.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds too complicated. Which is funny because like I'm here saying this should be more complicated.
I mean, to be fair, is you're saying that it should require it being more complicated.
Yes.
Semantics.
Yeah, it should require you to employ strategies. And I think that would make this game a whole lot better. But for what it is, I loved it, man. I had
was-
a blast.
not very appreciative of beating the game and the game going, well, you didn't get all the slime, so you didn't really beat it. And just not even giving you the credits. And I was like, oh my
Well,
god.
you-
I was like,
I
wait,
usually don't
what?
like that, but I was okay with it this time.
Yeah, it
Does
wasn't
that really
anything
hap-
outrageous.
I don't know. I don't. That makes me not even want to finish the final boss now.
Well, how many
I
slimes
need
do you have?
credits. Fucking whatever, like 54 or something.
All
No,
your
low-
homies are
higher
in
than that.
chests, bro. You gotta save them.
Dude, they're literally slubbicated in your or slub whatever that one slime said.
I think multiple slimes said that.
Yeah, and you're just gonna leave them in there.
Pee-wee's
Yeah,
gonna eat
I
if
had
you
all
don't save
100
'em.
slimes before
They
the
send
end
you a
of the
little
game.
letter.
Yeah, I did finish the game with 96 slimes, so it wasn't like a big thing. But if I was in Chris's position where I was like, let's say I was at like 70 and I beat the game and it was like, we can't really celebrate till you have them all. I'd be like, well, click, like power button.
You having 96 is more than I would have thought. How you've been talking about it.
Hey, like I'm here to play it. Like I might not have enjoyed it, but I wanted to give it the honest chance.
I only play games to see credits.
Oh, I see.
We should make a game about credits.
And make a game that you go through the tutorial and it gives you the credits. You're like, yes.
The tutorial's also credits. I'm glad we played this because it's really cool to hear and agree with both sides.
Me
It's
too,
weird.
dude.
Because like I'm like in the middle with this game. Like it's kind of a mystery to me because like it's the type of game that I'd be like, this is stupid and boring. But then when I actually play it, I'm like, I don't know why I'm having fun, but I am. I couldn't tell you. Like just bouncing around, like just fucking collecting shit, just mindlessly lobbing things in the canyon. I was just like, all right, this feels good, and I don't know why, but I'm not gonna question it.
Honestly, you saying that, I kind of realized my whole experience with the game is anytime I had a negative thought, I would just look at the slime and smile and just be all
He's
right.
having fun.
it,
I'm
bro.
having fun.
Just think about it. He's a slime. He has no limbs. Probably can't, isn't capable of a lot of complex thought. Actually, that might be a blessing. He's just living his best life, just
Saving his
bouncing around.
friends.
Yeah, fighting ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that I found that the ending being like literally nothing was very fitting for the game. Like, because you're like, oh, now we know what the Plop Father's really after, and his favorite idol wanted the horn, but then she didn't want it anymore. So he's like, yeah, whatever.
I thought that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny too. I was like, well, that's very fitting for this game.
Was it like Dual Magus pants?
Yeah, he
or
wants Dual
whatever?
Magus underwear
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah,
And he's a Dragon Quest 8 guy too, right?
yeah. He's
This game felt very like DQ8 coded.
well,
just-
yeah. I mean, it came out not really close, but pretty close. I think it was the closest
In
mainline
development
to
cycles,
this. Yeah. Actually, when did this come out? Did we say?
2006.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it did come out really close to this.
Yeah, I was like, I remember you getting that like when we were like late in high school, so I was like, it had to be around that time.
good fucking times, man.
Yeah,
When was
but-
Dragon Quest 8?
2004 or 5?
Oh, I thought it was like a PS1
Probably.
game.
That's crazy.
No, it's,
No,
it's
this
gotta be
goes
like
too.
2000. I'm gonna guess 2003. Let's check.
2003 is too early. It's
it
gotta be
was
like 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Yeah.
2005. I knew to trust my gut. Darn.
Well, what's the best Dragon Quest game?
8. Just kidding.
It's
a little
it's a tough answer.
8's probably the one, like the first mainline game one that I'm gonna play, and I'm
Yeah,
very
I
much
mean-
so looking forward to it.
8 is like a banger. It's really good. So you can't go wrong with that. You could also do 5. 5 is there's a lot of fans of that one.
Well, I
11
gotta
too.
start with Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, dude. Dragon Warrior 2 will
Dude, start
beat
with
your
the
ass.
Pixel remaster. You're gonna love that one.
You
Chris.
can- That's the wrong series.
No, they did the remakes of 3 or 2 and 3, right?
They did 3. 1 and 2 are coming out next year.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm gonna play this.
Yeah, man. I played 3 1.5 times already.
Dang.
No, I did appreciate, like, it was like a little nod, like, even not knowing much about Dragon Quest, like, when you save one of the slimes, he's like, these stupid little idiots casting that fireball are casting frizz at you. And I'm like, hey, that's a Dragon Quest thing. So it's like, even to the uninitiated, it was like, hey, there's the thing.
Yeah, it's cool how, like, you can tell that they love their fans. Like, Colin was saying, like, there's just so many nods. And just, like, they appreciate the world that they created, and they know that people appreciate it as well, so. And, like, little things, like, it's just a spin-off game, but, like, for, like, true fans, it's something more than that, you know?
Yeah, then I'm wondering, like, had I been more, like, of a, like, part of the Dragon Quest, like, you know, fan club.
Scene.
I was gonna say, don't call it fandom. I'll be upset.
That's why I said fan club. It's respectable. Like, would it have hit differently? But no, I think the gameplay still would have really just, because it was like when I wasn't enjoying moving around, like, as the slime and like fighting things and just walking past, it meant the next thing I was gonna get to that was gameplay was the tank, which I also like didn't enjoy. So it was like no amount of Dragon Quest love could have been like, I enjoy this game. But that being said, like, this game was not like a slog. I have played some games where I'm like, this is the worst. But this game was just, it never hooked me. Like, I just played it to play it. Like, if I had just picked this up and it wasn't book club, I would have been like, oh, cool game. Nah.
So it wasn't like Clock Tower is what you're saying?
Oh, Clock Tower can eat shit and fart and doggy hell.
I want to
Like,
play Clock Tower again.
Clock Tower's
Clock
cool.
Tower's great.
ugh,
That was Brad. What are you talking about?
thank you.
Fucking garbage.
Joyless piece of shit.
Don't even call it a
kinda
video
wish-
game.
I kind of wish that there was a ham object in this game that you could use as ammo.
Yeah, I was just thinking like one of the worst endings in Clock Tower, except it's the slime driving home, and then the slime looks in the rearview mirror, and it's the Scissor Man. As Donnie's canonical ending of this
Yeah.
game.
I don't think the Scissor Man could kill the slime though.
Yeah.
fuck
You just turned into two
I-
smiling slimes.
Yeah.
Google gave me a terrible AI answer to something that wasn't my question, but I googled something about this game, and it was like, the slimes from Dragon Quest in 2019 are officially edible, and they taste like lime. And I was like, thanks, Google. But interesting trivia.
Nice.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say like, in 1961, the slime from Dragon Quest started the Vietnam War.
No, not that bad.
They're like, oh, Google. But it's just, I don't know. Like, my time with it, like, there was never a point where I just had to stop playing. It was just, there was never a point where I really enjoyed playing. And we've played some games where I've been like, oh, God. Like, I've dreaded starting it up. I never dreaded starting this up. It was just like,
Which games did you dread starting it?
Croc.
no. Clock Tower, drawn to life a little bit.
Oh.
Oh yeah, dude.
I think I dodged a bullet with that
How
one.
many of you motherfuckers played that game in like 7-hour stints though? Huh?
I
Laser
think I
game.
would.
Me.
I'm at like
Laser
3 to 4.
That's too long. Y'all played
Yeah.
for like an
I
hour.
could do about 45 minutes before I had to turn it off. I like,
That was
"Oh,
me
man,
with this game.
Alright, well,
Shut up.
that's fair.
I,
huh?
dude, I
long.
played this game in like 4 or 5 hour chunks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was easy to do that.
Yeah. This game it was never offensive.
Oh, it's easy.
I'm-
It's
I'm
easy.
curious, Donnie, if you knew that you could plow through their door, I wonder how much that enjoyment would go up, you know? You know what I'm
Zero.
getting at? Okay, well,
Fair.
I mean, I guess you have a time machine because you answered that immediately.
No, I mean, it would have
It
been.
offers a different way to fight in the tank. You know, instead of throwing items in the cannon, you're hitting the enemies in their own tank and blowing up their consoles to. I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you blow up all the little machinery in the enemy
Mhm.
tank, it sets their ammo dispenser on fire for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
And they can, every time they pick up a piece of ammo, it hurts them.
Also, if you're successful shooting yourself into their base through the top, when you go and kill those computer systems at the bottom, it immediately opens the doors. So then that way you don't have to worry about it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah.
game has so much
Sure.
technology. It's crazy.
And you
Yeah,
can
I forgot
also
about that.
invade their base while you have the slime knight. You're carrying the slime knight, which lets you like
Oh,
swing the swords.
yeah.
You can fight him with the slime knight.
You're
Yeah.
basically
That was
invincible with that.
And
I
when
have a
I
question
stacked
about that.
3 slime knights on top of each other and just started murdering enemies, I was like, this
Oh,
is
and you
pretty
can
cool.
imbue it with fire. Do you guys know that?
What?
Sorry, I cut you off, Chris.
Oh, I was just gonna ask. You can't break into their like the core.
No,
right?
you
No,
need
okay,
their
okay.
health
No.
to be 0.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I was maybe hoping that you could just trivialize it even more. faster.
There is an action replay code to skip to the credits.
Oh.
The credits were
Actually,
very
I don't know if there are.
whimsical, but I did enjoy them.
I liked the credit sequence.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Just
I
like-
don't know. I felt good when I would send a slime home. I'd be like, you go home and you go to your house and you take a nice shower and make a cup of tea and a sandwich.
Help
and watch
rebuild
Netflix.
Boingburg with the other homies.
Yeah, like every time I rescued a slime, I felt like I was restoring them to their normal life, even though I knew it's just a sprite on the screen. You know?
I did like the
Yeah, like
slime who
food.
was down tremendous for Mother Gluperior.
That was so funny.
That is, yeah. I was gonna say something, but I didn't. Anyways,
The first time you find that slime, he's like muttering to himself about her, and
If you
he's
weren't
like,
a nun, and I'm like, wait, what? What's this guy talking about?
Slimes are down bad. There's a few horny ones.
Yeah.
I mean,
what
you know,
else are they gonna do? They don't have arms and legs.
It is
like-
called Boingburg. Let's get, you know,
Why do
Goonin
you think
trials.
there's so many slimes in that village?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They don't have TV, dude. What do you expect them to do?
Grind 1,000-ton fucking weights so that you can make more bastard swords, maybe.
I
Yeah,
had a
it's-
bunch of those weights, and they suck as ammo because when they land on
yeah.
the floor, it stuns you and makes.
Dude,
your
I
ass
love
climb
that.
there.
That's so good. There were a couple items like that, like the fire jars.
Or
It's
the
so
bombs,
funny,
too.
like you're rounding the corner and you see one like bounce off something, hit the ground, and then set your dudes on fire, and you're like, "Well, this wasn't a good strategy."
Or a bomb chain reaction where you're being bounced
Yeah.
9 times
You go
in a
to pick
row
up
and you
one, but
can't
one
move.
blew up near you, and you're like, no!
So I got rid of them as soon as I could.
It's like
Same
getting
with the
bounced into the
weights.
cannon by your own dudes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That happened to me a bunch of times too. But the fortunate thing about that is it doesn't really affect the battle.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
just walk
just
back.
silly, you know, like.
It's not like it's gonna make you lose or anything.
But so much of the stuff like that, like if you're already having a bad time with this game, I could see that
Right.
being the
It's so
total
funny.
opposite.
Yeah,
where you're just
that's-
like mad, you know?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
That's me.
You're just even your own teammates are against you. Fuck this. Yeah, I see. I could see that definitely.
I just hate fun.
Uh-huh.
Me too.
There's something to be said for hating fun sometimes. Alright, well, I feel like we've talked about it. How about some closing thoughts? Super, since you kind of started us out ish, and it was your pick. Like, what's your conclusion?
Well, overall, for me, this game was very weird, and by that I mean it's something that every aspect of the game. Let's say the way the game works, not the game itself, but every aspect of the way you play this game seems like something I wouldn't like, because it's so simple and so easy, and it doesn't really require any sort of engagement mentally or strategically. But then when I did play it, I just was having fun, and I don't know why. And maybe was my original experience as well, back when I had this when it was new. But I just enjoyed the grinding. I enjoyed collecting things. I enjoyed just mindlessly lobbing things in the cannon because it felt good to do. And I loved the characters. Or just like they're not like complex characters, obviously, but like the simplicity was charming, right? They're just little guys, just little bouncy slime dudes. Like, I don't know, this game just, maybe it was a combination of the non-gameplay elements that kind of. It's like when you add a certain spice to a food that changes it completely, you know?
Mhm.
And it goes from you don't like it to you like it. Maybe that's what it was for me, but I enjoyed this game a lot. And I found it hard to put down at certain times. And I'm gonna play the sequel. There is an English translation. I'm definitely gonna play it.
Yeah, I'll be curious to like hear about that one.
I hope the little slime has an eye patch. That's a missed opportunity otherwise.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's DLC.
Like
Anyways,
maybe-
if I had to give this a rating, I give it an 8. 8 out of 10.
Nice.
I'll go ahead. I'll try to balance it out. Like I was saying, I don't hate this game. It didn't click with me. It's not my type of game, but like it was. Like I can tell, like it's a well-made game. It's well put together, and it just, you know, the parts that I tried to give time to, I really was like, oh, I don't know. It's like Super Saiyan, like Path of Least Resistance. Like this works. I'm gonna spam ammo in the cannon. I'm gonna run past everything and not collect enemies, but I'm gonna go to every area and everything. And it's like it never. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And I played it in chunks. If I really didn't like this game, I would have been like suffering going through it. But I think I played it in like 3 sessions, maybe 4, and finished it early and was like, okay, you know, all right, got it done. Good for me. And then a little after, I was like, I should get those last 4 slimes I was missing. And I did that, and I feel like it was good that I've had time away from it, because I feel like if it dragged me down, like, oh god, like, time to backtrack after I already didn't have fun, like, I think then I would have had a worse experience, but I'm glad it ended up playing out like that, and, like, the music was good when it wasn't super tiresome, like, the way the game looked, like Chris said, it's cute, it's adorable, and it's like really well done. So even though I didn't like it, I'd give it a 6. Like with if it was a game I didn't like, I wouldn't have been able to play it so easily. So 6 is where it sits for me.
I like it. I like it.
It's higher than I thought you'd give it.
Respect your 6.
Thank you. I've given some 6s that have been disrespectful.
I'll go next. I don't really have much to say. Like, I really like the look and the character. I just didn't enjoy playing it at all, unfortunately, because, yeah, it just didn't hit for me at all. I'll give it a 1 Schleiman tank out of a Goonin spy hole. But only just.
But only just.
But only just. Nice. That might be
That's
my
good.
favorite Chris rating. That's a 10 out of 10 Chris rating.
Good.
Colin.
Well, so we're recovering from the Drawn to Life incident.
It's true. I saw the 6.5.
Okay, can I
on the
defend
sheet.
that?
Sure.
Drawn to Life had a really creative, unique premise. Like, even though the game sucked to play, like, and that credit sequence definitely bumped that up for me.
Bro, this
Oh, I
premise
forgot
is so
about
cool.
that shit.
Yeah. So, anyways,
no.
sorry, Colin.
No, it's fine. But what about you're tooting on a flute? You're just a mischievous little slime.
That
messing
toot
with
fluting
Big
is
Daddy.
real good. Flute
And
tooting.
and then the platypus.
Polish the Schleiman.
Yeah.
Remember the bat one that's like when it plays? The last flute.
Was I the
Evil
only one
flute.
reasonably, like, unreasonably upset that character just showed up, did nothing but eat food, and then end the world? And I was just like, I hate you. Stop.
No, I
it."
really like that.
That's great.
What, are you talking about the princess?
Yeah.
Yeah, she sucked.
I thought it was funny because like they kidnapped all the slimes and they kidnapped her too, but like it was like she was holding them prisoner kind
Yeah,
of.
she was just a menace.
Exactly.
She didn't give a fuck that she was kidnapped. She just wanted to eat.
He's
Fuck
gonna
it.
eat through all our rations. We don't have any more food.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
All right, sorry, called to derail your.
Oh no,
your
it's
speech.
it's okay. I was stammering awkwardly. I feel like I have to break apart my score here into subjective, objective. I haven't done that in a bit, but I can't, in good conscience, give this game like a mechanical score that really represents how much fun I had with it. So like, just to get it out of the way, I think my like personal enjoyment is up at like a 9. I really like this game.
Hell yeah.
Had a great time playing it, but I totally understand your criticisms, Danny. They didn't hit me that way, but
Yeah.
I can get why they did for you. I disrespect your 6. No, I'm just kidding. But
Get used to
like
it.
everything I love about Dragon Quest, like aside from them being like mechanically satisfying RPGs, was here. You know, it's just the music aside, I get that criticism too, but like the art, there's no corners cut. The uh just the I get really geeky nerdy about really solid localizations in games like this, and Dragon Quest's localizations have like a life of their own. It's not even just that, like I think Holden or Super said it earlier about like preserving the humor, and while that's true, they are their own thing. You know, when translated from damn, someone left. I was going on too long. Uh, when translated from Japanese to English, like they're funny in Japanese, of course, I guess, but I don't know that you really get to see it so much in this game. Maybe you do, but like one of the things that happens in Dragon Quest games is when you go to different towns, they speak in different accents, and it's written in such a way that it conveys the accent. You know, you might hear like a Cockneyed English accent, or you might hear like Scottish, or I guess read because you're reading it, but you can hear it because it's so well done. Um, it's just super cool. So like all of that charm and love and respect for the fans. And I hate calling myself a fan of things most times because like it can be very cringy very quickly, but you know what I mean. Like if you
Yeah.
really like something, to see the team making it show that same respect to it, it's a good feeling. You're like, damn, I love this, they love this, we're just having a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, I think as far as sort of like an objective mechanical score, I gotta also go with an 8 because out of respect for Danny's points and Chris's criticisms too. So
No, I feel like Dragon Quest in particular, like it's hard for me to think of a series that, like Super was talking about it, like they appreciate what they do, but they also appreciate who appreciates what they do. Like I feel like Dragon Quest is always striving to like be the game that its fans want it to be and love it for being, which is super like awesome. Like that's why I always really want to get into the series, because it's like I want to in on that. Like it seems like a really good time. I want to be a Dragon Quest weirdo.
You're definitely right, and I am a Dragon Quest weirdo. No, but I'm very glad we played it. I'm thankful Super picked it. I had never heard of it before he picked it. I was like, wait, what? What is this?
Who?
And was pleasantly surprised the entire way, geeking out the whole way. You know,
I'm really glad we had a Dragon Quest nerd to shed light on this game.
I wish I had more details in terms of like, you know, specific little nuance, nods, things like that. Because some things are like not super obvious, but you might see like, just like for example, you might like it's just like a phrasing a character might use. It's like, oh, that's reminiscent of this, or you know, that kind of thing. Nothing so super obvious. But Darth said, and this is true, it is primarily Dragon Quest VIII pilled, which you know makes sense as we said. So I'll shut up.
Real quick on that note, what are the big dudes called? Titans?
Oh,
What?
they're like,
Golems.
Golems, pardon.
you mean like do they
Punchy
like
guys.
they look like they're about to step on you? They
The
got like
rock
1
brick
foot up.
dudes from Dragon Quest. They're golems, right?
They're like living statues, is what I think they're called. But they'll do like reskins in those games, and they'll just call them different things.
Right.
You know,
Well,
like
my
Kylo
point
Ren.
was like that's an enemy I recognize, and even seeing them again and being
Uh-huh.
like, oh my god, you get to pilot one. Like that's going above and beyond in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I
As an
liked the bit
example
where you
there.
got to punch as the goal, and that was
Yeah.
Mm,
Oh, that. Yeah. I know what you mean. Sorry, I was thinking about something different. But even just like when Danny was fighting all those moles at the start of the game, like it has come up in several different Dragon Quest games where like you specifically throughout the game will like go into a cave and you have to fight like a collection of moles that all gang up on you with their stupid fucking shovels. And there's a boss fight in Dragon Quest 8 where it is that, and it's actually kind of hard. So like the fact that you go into this cave on like level 1 5 minutes into the game and you're like tussling with like 12 moles with shovels, I was like, I get it, I know what you're doing, stuff like that. It's not even like what they're saying, it's like situationally the kinds of things
It's
you're
like, oh, I
seeing.
remember this.
I like
That's
that.
cool. I like that.
I'll go, and then Donnie, you being our host, if you want to relay Darf's score in the Discord.
Oh
Either
yeah.
way, but my concluding thoughts on the game are that I think it's just totally what we agreed upon. The game doesn't have the depth to get the most out of its mechanics, but I give it so much style points and ingenuity points. It's such a unique premise that was actually still fun to go back to. It gets so much credit for being a game that I enjoyed as a kid, and now that I do as an older adult. That's a huge testament to the game. Um, it obviously has some shortcomings, but uh, suffice to say, my objective and subjective are the same. That I believe this game is a solid 8 out of 10.
Respectable 8s out of 10s and subjective 9s out of 10s. Like you said, unfortunately, Darth, his power went out, so technical difficulties. I would make a funny Canadian power grid joke, but Chris is right there. So it doesn't really hit. Anyways, but Darth, his closing statement was that the game was charming, the combat was cohesive and incredibly unique with lots of nuance and strategy, but said the game was brought down by its easiness and the grindiness, and ended it as a 7.5, which is like everybody kind of agrees. Like we all kind of like feel the same about the game. It's just like depending on like how exactly that meshed like played out, which I think is cool. Like
Totally.
I feel like we say it a bunch, but that's the reason why we do this. It's like everybody's different. Everybody thinks different things about different stuff, which it's always really fun to get here and start discussing about.
I agree.
But now that
unfortunately, it's been 2 games in a row that I'm just hating on. So hopefully we get something good next time. Hello,
there
Darth.
he is.
Oh, welcome back.
Darth, let it rip. Just say the score. Let the people know. Oh God, he's dead.
It's Shadow Ghost Darth.
He's doing the cat.
It's shit Darth. All right, but it's kind of good that Darth is back for this, because I guess it's time to make a couple of announcements about what's going on.
Huh?
Huh?
None of us know.
What? We all agreed.
Is
What?
Darth getting married?
Yes. No.
Congratulations.
Darth is pregnant.
Congratulations, Darth. Make sure to invite all of us, and it will be live streamed on this channel. No. So this is gonna be the last like official book club for a bit, because we're gonna be going on hiatus. Because unfortunately, Super will be being a responsible man and won't be able to join us. So we are still gonna do like a end of year wrap up. Like, is that in the cards?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As long as we do it before Super can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am unavailable from January 21st to March 22nd.
Okay, yeah, I think we can definitely fit it in there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so look forward to a 2024 wrap up. But there is also going to be, for the weeb fans among us, we will not leave everybody, because it'll be a like a 3-ish month hiatus. So we're gonna be doing a special Weebs In book club episode. It will be 4 of us. It's going to be myself, Colin, Darth, and Chris. No, and Holden. Chris and Super. Oh God, he's dead. Chris and Super have not played the game, and Super will be busy. Chris, you're welcome to join if you can beat it.
I was going to
before
say, I
we
want
start.
Chris to
Oh,
be
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
We are going to be doing a special Weaves episode for Metaphor Re Fantasio, a game that came out last year. So it'll be extra special because it'll be a recent game. And it'll be, I don't know, it'll be interesting because I feel like we all know what we think about that game. So it's gonna be an interesting discussion. I'm not going to spoil it, but it'll be interesting. Also talking about a new game.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, I've been
Welcome
blowing
back.
up your guys' DMs about random thoughts on Metaphor.
Yeah.
I'll just for the 3 a.m. DM from Holden with another song from Metaphor.
He's at it again.
Are we still rolling for are we rolling the wheel
April's
for
game.
April's game?
Yeah, I figured we can talk. Do you want to roll for that now, or roll for that at the end of the
Dude,
recast?
4 months of being like, oh my god, we gotta play this.
I wanna
do it.
spin now. I wanna
Yeah,
do
spin
that.
now.
Let's spin now. Okay, spin.
Can you imagine doing Riri like that? Come on.
Riri needs the wheel. I feel like everybody just shows up for the wheel. They just put up with us
Yeah.
until
That's
we
why
talk
I'm here.
Yeah, I just played the game for the wheel.
Oh
I know
God,
which game I'm rooting for.
Me too.
Chimone's Quest.
I'm gonna have to make the wheel because apparently Picker Wheel done cleared my wheel.
It's common courtesy. You come in the house, you wipe your wheels.
You clean the wheel. All right, so talk amongst yourselves as I recreate the wheel.
I am so surprised of the divisiveness in this particular pick. Mostly because we agreed, but it was kind of down the middle. Well, not super down the middle, but you know what I'm saying? How are
Yeah.
we getting near 2 years done and we're still finding weird, divisive?
Oh,
games, you know?
we'll never run out of weird divisive games. You kidding me?
Well, it's cool because I guess in the way it divides, it's always different, and you never know who's gonna be on what side.
True.
Is what I'm learning
true.
about book club.
Right.
And
Yeah,
also
that's-
more that like you would think that after 2 years of doing this we would start to homogenize, you know? Maybe
It's
start
one of
to-
those the more you know, the less you know things.
Mhm, yeah.
sure do love wheels.
I heard there was gonna be a wheel.
I like their roundness.
Do you think
Well,
he's gonna
speaking
do
of
the
the
Elastoblast?
wheel,
Oh, he's doing it.
I'm doing it. I'm trying to remember. Like, so Super is now off the wheel.
Yes.
Holden is off the wheel because we did Perfect Dark.
Darth is off the
Uh,
wheel for.
I am.
DS.
It's Drawn to Life. Yeah, Darth is off the wheel. Is Colin still on the wheel?
So when was the last time we renewed the wheel? Is the question.
I don't think I've had a
Ooh.
game picked since that shitty game I didn't like. What
The
was
la-
it?
Because once it was down to one person, we rolled. Who was that one person?
Yeah, I don't
Man, this
remember.
is something we should have been writing down, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Dude, that
let me
spreadsheet's
see.
huge.
Have we done a Colin pick this year? I think we have.
The last
I
time I had
mean-
a game picked was Illusion of Gaia back in September of last year.
Yeah, so Colin is on the wheel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the last I actually have been doing this. I forgot. There's a selections tab, and so starting from February of this year it was Holden, Super, Darth, Danny, Darth, Holden, Darth, Danny. This is
Wait.
Metroid, Do Re Mi, Kirby Superstar. So that was Holden, Super, Darth, then Terranigma, Tactics, which maybe doesn't count, but
No.
Perfect Dark. So that's Danny and Holden for Terranigma and Perfect Dark, and then Drawn to Life, Alien Isolation, Super for this game.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's kind of just Colin and Chris.
Arm
Oh
wrestle,
no!
Dude, you know what that means?
arm wrestle.
Oh no, dude! I
mean,
think it's time.
no, it's never gonna be time.
The
Stop
4
it.
month hiatus. It's gonna
time.
be 4 months.
We're gonna be
It's
sitting
time.
dwelling on the
Let's
thought that
break.
we might have to be
It's-
playing Simon's Quest.
It's time. I can feel it. It's time.
It's not time.
Ah,
I've accepted it.
No.
Yeah.
God. Is it about to be time? We'll find out right now, because here's the wheel. I will not react. And I don't know. I might react if it gets Simon's Quest, but I'll try my damnedest to not. All right. Let's.
You know that feeling when you're about to die and you feel like you have to pee? That's what I just felt when I came to this realization.
Well, we're about to feel, if we all feel that right now.
That's a big fucking wedge.
There's some good between.
Can't breathe.
Nobody say anything.
I don't even know.
Yeah, what?
I don't even know how we can play this game. Is it on GOG, Chris?
It's on sale.
on
Probably
GOG.
it's like $2.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
It's on GOG.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I don't know what the fuck this game is. Is this a game?
No.
Dragon Quest Monsters Slime Nox PC.
Yep, Nox is $197 on GOG.
Sweet.
Ooh, it's a tall order.
All right.
All right, so now we know in April to look forward to Nox, if I don't forget by
It's-
then.
It's good we have a little bit more time because I don't know how long it is. It's not terribly long.
You can do
Can't be
multiple
more than
playthroughs.
20 hours. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, but we have kind of all the time in the world to get it done. Make sure to take your notes. That's probably going to be a big thing. If you don't take
I'm still
notes,
gonna finish it day of.
you
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I've actually beaten this one, so I don't even need to procrastinate.
I'm just
this time.
kidding. I'm kidding, Donnie.
I'm
No,
excited.
you're
to do
not.
this
No,
again.
you're not. All right. Well, look forward to Nox in April. Look forward to the recap coming soon. End of the month, early January. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know. And then in the hiatus, there will also be the special Weeb edition for Metaphor Ray Fantasio. But Colin, Super, Chris, Darth, Holden. Good stuff, good conversation. Who knew that goofy little slime could make us have such a in-depth and delightful conversation? I'm working up the credits. But I will see you guys for our next venture where we fight it out and pick both objective through the scores and subjective through our opinions. What is Game of the Year Book Club Edition Astrobot? I'm still mad.
No.
That's true.
All right. I will catch you guys later.
Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.
Farewell.
GG's.
And everybody at home in the live studio audience, thanks for watching. Sorry about the technical difficulty. It actually wasn't my fault this time, but I will be putting it together and it will be on YouTube. So everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with us. And we'll see you for the 2024 recap soon. TM. Good night, everybody.